I mean, I'm 26 years old. I've had several things coming in and out of my vagina for several years. So me putting this little silicone cup in me was nothing. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I know I haven't been on here in a while, but I am finally catching up on stuff and I have so much content I want to create, record, and start uploading consistently. One day I was just sitting on my kitchen counter and I had just started my period and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this. I've had this for several years. What can I do to, you know, make this experience better for me since it's not going anywhere? I don't want to be on like any birth controls or anything like that. And so I've had my period consistently after I gave birth to my daughter, and so that's been for the past 4 years. And previous to that, I had an IUD. I've also tried other forms of birth control, but I ultimately decided that I didn't want to have any of those chemicals in my body affecting me in a negative way. So I ended up deciding to buy a menstrual cup. And of course we've heard of these things since, I don't know, maybe in the past several years. It started with the Diva cup, and then of course people started making different brands of the same product. And so while I was sitting on my counter, I'm just like, maybe I should buy one of those menstrual cups. And so I went on Target.com on my phone, used their like free delivery, which is shipped, it's SHIPT.com. They had a 14-day free trial, so I had someone go pick it up and deliver it straight to my door. Best service in the world. I'm probably gonna do the annual subscription so I can keep it because I don't want to go to the store, especially with everything going on right now. But anyways, back to the product. So the product came in this cute little, I don't know if you guys can see it, this cute little packaging, and it's called Saalt. And then when you open it, mine's already out because I used it, obviously. It's this pink little, almost like silicone type of material cup. So I love the packaging. I'm a sucker for packaging. Like if something comes in a cute little bag or package and it's wrapped up and it comes with cute little accessories, I am all about it. I'm like, ooh, I want to buy more from this company because I am a sucker for this. They can draw me right in with this little bag. Like, I was sold. Anyways, so yes, so this cup is a small. I got a small size. I didn't want to get a bigger one because I didn't want it to be too big. However, I should have read more or looked at more YouTube videos to determine which size would have been best for me, because I do feel like I do need the bigger size. And a lot of things go into account when you are purchasing these cups, as far as if your cervix is high, if it's low, if you've had children before. So there's other things as well that go into play when you decide to invest in a menstrual cup. So what this thing does, so the idea is that you take this cup and you sit it in, you put it through your vagina, and then it sits right below your cervix. So when you're having your period, the blood flows directly into the cup. And you know, in theory, you're like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. Let's try it, because I'm tired of pads, tired of tampons, like I'm tired of all of that. I want to try this new innovation that will probably save my life and save me from hating my life for a week because of my period. So anyways, I decided to try it, and at first I was super excited to have it in and enjoy it and not have to use tampons and pads, right? But like, I went 3 days trying to maneuver the cup inside of me, and it was just not working. So for the first day that I put it in, this was actually the second day of my period, but the first day of me using the actual menstrual cup, I had it in for 2 hours, super excited about it. But I ended up, they say you can keep this in for 12 hours, by the way. So I ended up taking it out after 2 hours because I was like, oh, this is too good to be true, like, you know. And I was very underwhelmed because there was only like a tiny bit of blood in there. And for my second day of my period, sorry, this is TMI, my second day of my period, I usually have tons of blood. So I'm sitting here like, damn, my tampon would have been so full of blood, but in this cup, it's only a little bit. So I was like, this is lame, right? And so I ended up rinsing it out and then putting it back inside of me. And then I actually, the second time, I ended up keeping it in for several hours. But during that several hours, it started to leak. I was like leaking. And so I'm like, oh, it must be full. And so I took it out. It was barely full. And so I'm like, okay, I started watching more YouTube videos. So I was like, maybe I had it up too high this time. And so I switched it. I put it a little lower. It still was leaking. And then I tried to like put it right in the middle. Still was leaking. So I was just like, this is kind of annoying. And so I ended up going to their Instagram, and often times people will comment on their pictures and ask them questions, and they will say, just DM me if you guys have any questions. And so I DM'd them on, today is Wednesday. I DM'd them on Sunday. They messaged me back on Tuesday, and it's currently Wednesday, and I still haven't got a response back from them yet. But I feel like since I've had a child, I didn't have my child vaginally. I had a C-section. And from my knowledge, my cervix is normal. It's not too high, it's not too low. So that's why I decided to go with a smaller cup. But I feel like I probably should have gotten a bigger cup, because I feel like my issue with this is that it doesn't, it's not hugging my vaginal walls as tight as it should be. That's why I'm getting those leaks on the side of the cup. Because when they tell you to put these in, they have it where you're supposed to push it down in the middle and kind of like put it in like a rose. Like it's kind of shaped like a rose, and put it in that way. And you're supposed to, when it's inside of you, you're supposed to wrap your finger around it, making sure the cup is fully open and it's expanded. And I've done that on several occasions, but it still would leak. And so I've just kind of come to the conclusion that I probably should have gotten a bigger cup. I didn't get the bigger cup because I don't have really heavy periods. And so I was like, eh. And because I thought I knew my body to where I knew that my cervix was pretty normal and my vaginal wall was normal, I don't know. But I'm going to try out the bigger cup, because I do think that my problem is that my vaginal walls are a little wider for this teeny tiny cup. And so that is going to be my next step. Overall, I feel like if this thing actually worked, I would love it. I would fall in love with it. But my only thing right now is that it's leaking, and I've tried so many different techniques, body positions, different ways of folding it, and all those things. So I'm really hoping that when I get the second one, that it will be a better experience for me. Another thing that I want to talk about was my actual experience putting this thing in. So of course, before I bought it, I was looking at a bunch of YouTubers talking about putting in these silicone cups and using it for the first time. And I feel like this was like the easiest thing to put inside of me. I mean, I'm 26 years old. I've had several things coming in and out of my vagina for several years. So me putting this little silicone cup in me was nothing. It took me probably like 5 minutes to fold it in the right direction and be able to put it inside and then make sure it was fully open. That did take a while for me to get, but as soon as I got it, I got it. I'm not scared of my vagina. It's a vagina. I've had it for 27 years, right? And it's yours. And it's like, if you're not comfortable with your vagina yet and the things that you can put inside of it, then this will probably be a little scary for you at first. But it was not scary for me at all. I've been to a freaking OBGYN and had them open my vagina up with a, what are those things called? Those things where they look inside. And so this was nothing. And then in the directions, and the Saalt directions, they actually tell you different ways to insert it and different ways to fold it, so you can try different techniques and see what works best for you. Overall, my experience with the Saalt small cup was okay. I feel like this will be phenomenal if I get a bigger cup size. I feel like it would be even better if the customer service actually responded back to their DMs in a reasonable time, since they do advertise that they are available all the time as well, because I didn't know if it was because my vaginal wall was too large or too wide, and the cup was just too small, or if there were just other reasons why. And I still don't know if that's the reason why, but I'm definitely gonna try a bigger cup. And these are not cheap. They're like $35 or $36 at Target. And so that's me spending almost $75 on these menstrual cups. And I wish they were like reusable so I can give them to someone else, which would be kind of gross, but I feel like this one is going to waste because I'm essentially not going to use it. But I hope this video was helpful to you all that are thinking about getting a menstrual cup, or if you are just looking for alternatives during your period. I do essentially think that this would be good for anyone who has not maybe bear children, or if you have a light period. The Saalt Cup Small will probably be the perfect fit for you. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be posting more consistently now and creating content, and I'm so excited. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions regarding the menstrual cup. And I will be doing like a part 2 so I can give a review on the regular size cup and see if that one will work for me instead. But of course, our periods only come once a month, thankfully, and so that probably won't be created until the end of June. So just be on the lookout for that and make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys.